Today we got a story about a crazy weeaboo kid I used to know when I was younger, and boy oh boy, this dude was something else, man. So yeah, make sure to watch through the end because I'm sure you will enjoy it. And before I forget, if you want your own story to be featured on this channel, make sure to mail me at rajbusiness@gmail.com. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So today's story all takes place in freshman year in high school, and for the most part there was absolutely nothing wrong with that year. I mean, I felt pretty comfortable and I had a small group of friends and all was well, but I must admit that one of my friends, let's call him Daniel, well, Daniel was very different from the rest of the friend group in a very weird way. So Daniel was a cool guy at first and everyone in the friend group liked him and we were vibing pretty well together, and soon him and me became pretty close. Now, Daniel really loved anime a lot. I mean, back then I never watched any anime because I was just totally oblivious about it. I still watched plenty of Western cartoons instead, and I didn't realize how much amazing shows like, Attack on Titan or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood could be. I mean, I'm still a pretty casual anime watcher. I've watched maybe like 30 different shows in like 6 years, but yeah, back then, zero, pretty much none. However, back then, Daniel must have watched literally hundreds of different shows. He was pretty hardcore. Like, he had tons of posters in his bedroom, he had an anime themed desktop background, and his phone lock screen too, so he was a veteran. Still, I wasn't really judging him per se. I mean, I actually love it when people have a hobby and they tell interesting things about that hobby, and if they are happy while doing it, I mean, who am I to say that they are not allowed to, right? So here is where the spiciness comes in. Daniel also loved watching hentai. And I'm not gonna go in detail explaining what this is so I don't get banned off of YouTube, but let's just say that it is the adult version of anime. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. And the crazy part is that I didn't even have to do any digging because Daniel literally told me about it like the third week we became friends. He told me, yo, do you watch hentai? And I'm like, my dude, I don't even know what the hell that is. And he explained it to me, and my reactions were literally like, oh, that's right. I just opened my mouth and said the letter O. But then later I said, well, then I can't even say that I'm surprised. And luckily he took it very well because he just started laughing. So anyways, a while has passed, like a couple of months I can say, and one week I woke up and took a shower and prepared myself for yet another regular day of school. So then when I arrived at school, Daniel ran towards me all happy and stuff, and he told me, yo dude, guess what? I got picked to speak at the assembly next week. Now, our school had like a couple of assemblies every year, but this one in particular had this special section, I guess you could say, where one of the freshman students would have the chance to speak for about 5 to 10 minutes or so about their freshman experiences in the school. So for this year, Daniel got picked, and I thought it was pretty damn cool, but I also asked him, why did the school pick you instead of someone else? I mean, it is already pretty rare for any students to even get a chance. And then Daniel told me that I was completely wrong because it was actually pretty quite easy. You see, the only thing you would have to do is sign up for it, and apparently the principal told me that a lot of people are way too nervous to even do it in the first place. So I pretty much instantly got the spot, he told me. So after he said that, I asked him, dude, are you not afraid to speak? I mean, there are gonna be at least 500 students listening to you. Isn't that scary for you? And Dan told me, nope, not at all. In fact, I think it is going to be hilarious. So then I asked him, how do you mean it's gonna be funny? Are you going to do some stand-up comedy or something? And then he told me, well, you will see. Don't worry about it. And then I told him, absolutely not. Tell me what the hell you're planning. Tell me what the hell you're gonna do, because if you don't tell me, then I'm gonna ask you every single day until I will annoy you, so you must give in at some point. So at that point, Daniel looked me in the eyes and told me, Fine, I don't want you to wonder every single day, but you must promise me that you will keep it a secret from anyone else, what I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? And yeah, I agreed to keep it a secret. So then he tells me, listen, I'm going to screw it up on purpose. And I was like, what? What do you mean screw it all up? Isn't it supposed to be the serious speech, right? And he told me, I don't care, it is going to be hilarious. And I told him, listen man, I just don't want you to get in trouble, okay? Make sure not to get suspended because man, you are one of my best friends and I don't want you to get into any trouble, okay? And he promised me to not get in any trouble, basically. So fast forward to the day before the assembly. I walk into school, it was a totally normal morning. And one of my school friends runs up to me. Let's call this friend Matt. So Matt runs up to me and asks me, yo, do you know what Daniel is gonna say tomorrow during the presentation? I basically told him that I had no idea. In fact, I remembered I had to be secretive about this presentation, so I pretended I didn't know anything about it. So Matt tells me that Daniel is going to say something pretty disturbing, and I ask him, what is Dan gonna say? Tell me. And Matt tells me that I would have to ask Daniel himself. So after that, I tried to find Daniel in the hallways and I couldn't find him. And I looked pretty much everywhere and I still couldn't. So then I decided to message him on the phone to ask him where he's at. And he told me that he was not feeling well today and that he called in sick this morning. And then I asked him, well, are you still gonna do the disastrous presentation of tomorrow? And he said, yes. Totally. I'm not gonna tell you anything because it's gonna be a nice surprise, so don't worry about it, you'll see. Anyways, one day later, it's the day of the assembly, and not gonna lie, I was sweating so hard, man. I was more nervous for Daniel than ever before. I literally had exams that were very stressful, but even for them, I wasn't as stressed out as for Daniel that day. But he promised me that he wasn't gonna get in trouble or suspended, so I believed him. And he also promised me that I would love the surprise he would present to me and to the whole assembly. Anyways, the moment of truth. Daniel walks up to the stage and the projector is all set up at this point. The only thing he had to do now is connect his laptop to the cable of the projector. So that is exactly what he did. And after he connected his laptop, you could see his anime background in the projector pretty clearly. Because this projector was really big, so even the kids at the last row could easily see everything. And some kids already started laughing at him and pointing fingers and stuff. But anyways, fast forward to Daniel's speech. This is where everything goes downhill. So it is time for him to speak and he grabs the microphone and says, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my presentation. And today I wanted to talk to you about a very, very important subject. And he proceeds to open his presentation, which was on a giant screen in front of everybody. And the first slide of the presentation is filled to the brim with hentai pictures, dude. I kid you not. And immediately after, one of the teachers started screaming, she just saw a murder happening or something. And she was like, oh my god. And literally the entire hall starts laughing so hard, man. Some of the teachers were really embarrassed and put their hands over their faces. And to be honest, I couldn't do it too. I couldn't even bear watching anymore. But it doesn't even end there. So Daniel grabs the mic again and says, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, settle down please. And everyone is really quiet. And then he says, today's presentation is about the origin of hentai. And I was thinking holy shit dude, no way he is doing this. He is literally gonna tell in detail how it was created and to which particular websites you have to go to watch it and stuff like that. Literally, this guy is shameless. What the hell, man? So literally about 15 seconds after he calmed everyone down and told the aim of his presentation, the same woman who screamed in the first place, I believe it was an English teacher, she actually walked up behind Daniel and pulled the plug out of his laptop. But his microphone was still on, so he started to be annoyed and said, Oh man, I wasn't even done with my presentation, miss. And after that, the teacher grabbed the mic and quickly told the assembly, "Dear students, sorry about all of this. This assembly is over and you can all return back to your classrooms." So yeah, after that, everyone left and still quite shocked, by the way, and in disbelief of what just had transpired. And I was walking in the hallways going back to class and someone taps me on my shoulder from behind. And I look behind me to see who it was, and I kid you not, it was the man himself, Daniel. So I immediately asked him, "Dude, are you not gonna get in trouble now?" And he told me, "Yeah, actually, I'm walking to the principal's office right now." And I was like, "Oh, that's a shame." And then he asked me like, "But dude, enough about that. Did you see how funny my presentation was?" I told you it would be funny, right? And I said, not gonna lie, it was actually pretty funny. Because truth be told, I was laughing together with the rest of the students who were at the assembly. So yeah, I told him that he was probably gonna get some sort of punishment now. And he was like, "Yeah, I probably gonna get a short suspension. But honestly, dude, it was worth it, every second of it." So behind us there was another kid and he walked up to us and he asked Daniel, "Yo kid, why the hell did you do it? Why did you show that hentai during your assembly presentation?" And Daniel answered, "Because I like that stuff. It's like drugs to me and I thought it would be pretty funny to share such a big part of my life with the school." Like literally though, this kid was shameless. Anyways, moral of the story, don't be like Daniel, man, it's not worth it. Although I must admit it was kind of funny and Daniel became kind of famous that year. He did get suspended for 3 days, but yeah. The best way to support my channel is to binge watch my story videos. They are showing up on the screen right now. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a like on this video. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you are new and see you guys later. Peace.